Well, we aren't flooded out today, so that's the good news. So sorry I had to delay the video this week. My name is Sara Oehler, and I'm here for Soft Flex Company, and we are located in Sonoma, California. And unfortunately, Sonoma County went through some huge flooding this week. We've had just a ridiculous amount of rain, and in Sonoma, there just isn't many places for the rain to go to. Everything kind of is hilly, and all the rain slides downhill when the ground is saturated, and it fills up the roads, which are running between the hills, and so it makes it real difficult for everyone to get around. We're very fortunate though, it just shut us down for a day, and well, shut me down a little bit further than that, being able to get here, but it wasn't too bad. But all of the folks up near the Russian River, they really had quite the time of it because that river just overflowed tremendously. So there's a lot of people out there in our thoughts. You know, if it's not fires in the summer, we're dealing with floods in the winter. So we just do our best and kind of keep on going here in lovely Sonoma. So thankfully it isn't raining today, and I think we are forecasted for some rain in the next few days, but it won't be nearly as bad as it was earlier this week. So we're all thankful for that and crossing our fingers that that happens to really be the case, that it doesn't rain a ton more. Hello, Deborah from Reading. Hello, Kathy and Robin. So nice to see you guys. Yeah, if you didn't notice on the top of this video where I talk about what's going to be in the video, I said if you like and publicly share the video, you'll be entered to win a Soft Flex tray of your choice. You need to do that by March 5th. We are going to be doing a design challenge kit today. And if you've never watched one of these videos before, it's basically one of these little guys here. I'm going to open it up. It's full of everything we need to make bracelets, earrings, necklaces, a huge assortment of beads and wire. And we sell these every single month. This particular one that we're going to open today is sold out. We sell them about a month in advance. This one sold out very quickly, within a week, and we're already 50% sold out on our next one. So next month, March's design kit is called Flower Power. It's available now on our website, which is www.softflexcompany.com. You can grab it there. When it sells out, it sells out. We have to make limited quantities. We keep trying to up it a little bit more every few months, but I have a feeling this one's going to sell out fairly quickly too. So if you want to participate next month, make sure you get over and get your Flower Power design kit. It's very, just like the tissue paper shows, it's very bright and colorful. It's great for upcoming spring, and those of you that are stuck in those wintry areas. I grew up in Montana. I totally get it. By March, you definitely are craving some color. So that's where we went with this guy, and some of those have already been shipping out. So make sure you go grab one of those. I am going to flip down. We'll start opening up, and we can start talking about what is in the Purple Rain kit and make a few things. And yeah, glad to see all of you guys. I'm so happy to be here finally. I was so looking forward to doing this kit earlier this week, and it just did not work out, but life goes on. So here's some information if you're brand new to Soft Flex Company. That's our website. This is the name of the new kit for March. And I'm just going to start opening it up, and we can kind of talk about things as we go. We have a great deal on our website going right now. If you spend $59, you get $10 off. And if you're over $50, you get free shipping too. So it's a pretty good set of deals. So if you're getting a Flower Power kit, you might think about picking up some crimps or wire or a bead mix or something else while you're at it. So this particular kit we based off of the Purple Rain album cover, and if you go to the BIB group. I posted a picture of it from Wikipedia, and it's a beautiful cover with purples and blacks, and then this just really gorgeous citrine color. And this is a color of Soft Flex that I definitely think is just totally underrated. It is such a pretty color when it's mixed with the right combination of other things. It has kind of like an orangey quality to it, but it just, I don't know, you'll see once we get going. I think you're gonna really love it. So that's the first thing in this kit. And actually where we started for Purple Rain was the citrine colored Soft Flex Beading Wire. So Soft Flex Beading Wire is actually 49 strands of stainless steel braided together, and then it's coated in a color nylon coating. And the nylon coating is kind of a buffer because beads are like little knives. They spin and they cut into whatever wire or thread or cording they are strung on. And so the nylon coating is sort of a buffer to help offset that sharp quality of a bead. It comes in lots of different colors, but this is definitely a really fun color to use. And this is a 10-foot spool that's in your package, which is what you'd also get if you were to buy a trio. But we also have it in larger spools, 30 foots, 100 foots, 1,000 foots. Heck, we'll sell you 5,000 feet if you really love it and you're manufacturing. And you'd be surprised, we actually do sell 5,000 foot quantities, believe it or not. Okay, so let me get myself organized. I'm so excited, you guys. Finally! So we've got some black silk cord in here, which could be really fun to use today. We've got some citrine colored check glass beads that match the wire just really, really well. That's cool. We've got some really lovely black beads as well. Ooh, these look neat. These look like they're drilled from, let's see, from corner to corner possibly. Oh, are they 2-hole? Trying to see. Oh yeah, they're 2-hole beads. Like, where are the holes? Look at that. Cool. 2-hole diamond beads. That's awesome. We've got some little purple drops and some larger purple ovals. We've got our, of course, custom mix Purple Rain bead mix. You can still buy our overrun of these on the website. We buy a larger quantity than we put in the kits because that's how Jesse James Beads works for their custom design bead mixes. And so we end up with a few extra than what we do in the kits, and so you can always purchase them after the kit goes live. So this went live this week too. What a pretty bead mix it is. Let's open it up and take a look. Wow, ooh, look at that one. Look at that bead, so fun. And we've got some cool connectors. Those would be really fun to work with. Looks like we've got some tassels, some purple leather tassels. We've got some little flower tassels. We've got some of those little fun baubles that have little crystals in them. And then it looks like we even have some purple crystals and a mixture of check glass. So let me get something I can pour these into. I'm gonna grab a few spools here. And we will pour them out so we can get ourselves organized. We also do carry a purple Soft Flex, which would work really well with this kit as well. But we have purple picked for a different month coming up. So we did pair it in the trio though. This is the Purple Rain Trio that just went on sale this week as well. which is the 24 karat gold, the black, and the purple. And you can see it's like these two together are dynamite. Dynamite. Okay, so let me dump all this out so I can kind of get an idea of what's in here. Oh, it has some of these little carved roses too. The bead mix is like really perfect. Jesse James Beads hit it out of the park. We've got some cool bugle beads and seed beads. And then we've got a few crystals, a few copper beads. I don't even know where those came from. Where did you even find those, James? And then a cool, it looks like a gemstone bead or something that he threw in this little package. And we've got our new black oxidized crimp tubes. So if you've been waiting to try these, I hope you got a kit and you get to try them out. They are 2x2s. We carry these in sterling silver, gold filled, and copper and have for many years, but we just barely started doing this black oxidized, and we thought it would be perfect for the purple rain kit. And then we have some matching ear wires and a lobster clasp. So we try to package our kits with everything you'd need if you're a brand new beader, but the tools, and then you can kind of figure out that part of it for tools as well. So I'm already knowing I kind of dig these guys and probably want to do something with those. I'm not sure what, but it might be fun to do kind of like maybe a Y necklace would be kind of fun. These would be cool if you were doing like a lariat. You could put them at the bottom of the lariat and they have kind of like a bobbly effect. Maybe we'll do something like that. Let me open this up so I can get these guys separated. I'm assuming that this is going to open. So I'm using the tip of my crimping pliers. You could totally use chain nose pliers. That's what most people would do. But I happen to have my crimping pliers right here, and you know, I just kind of go with it. So I'm going to open up my jump ring, and then I can slide these apart. And then I'll actually just slide this jump ring off the other side too, just so that they match. And if I want to add the jump ring back on for some reason, I'll just set those aside and I'll have them ready to go if I need them. Okay, so we've got that. I really want to get some of that citrine color in here. So I'm going to pop out at least one of these guys. Let me actually pop them all. They look like magical glass cauldrons. They do. They totally do. I think that'll be fun. Ooh, I can already picture kind of like a cool fringe earring with these that'll match this so well. So that might be something I'll think about doing later as well. I really dig these big purple guys. So I'm going to grab some of those out. And then just to offset it, I'll do a little bit of that citrine color on both sides in a different shaped bead. And let me pour those out in case I want to grab some more of those later here. So one of the best parts of our design kits is everybody who bought one is asked to join our Soft Flex VIB group and post pictures of what they make using the same kit that I'm using today. And so people will go there and post tons and tons of pictures because every design shown is an entry to win the next kit. And so you can go back and look at last month's kit, for example, by searching hashtag Cupid's Kiss in the VIB group. and it'll show everything that was made with that kit, and it can be so inspiring to see not just what I make, but what everybody is making with these super fun kits. It's my favorite, and I know some of you have already been busy creating, and I can't wait to see what you end up making. I'm thinking I might want to add in a little black too to get that kind of fun purple rain. Album cover look. Let's see. Yeah, I've got another black here. I like that purple crystal a lot too. Maybe we'll put that at the top. Move the black in here. Black on the ends here. Yeah, so this is how I typically bead. I just start moving stuff around, kind of seeing how it looks, how I feel about it. Beading is one of the best hobbies in my opinion because it doesn't take a lot of time. You can make something pretty easily in one single sitting, and it can be really fun and relaxing, but not like overwhelming. Some craft projects I find can be a little overwhelming for me. I kind of like this as a Y necklace with this coming down the center. Maybe a little more purple down here. Let's see if I can find something that I like. So we can drop this down just a little bit further, and then of course we're going to use this beautiful citrine wire up the back, and so we'll need a clasp in the back as well. Let's grab that. We'll use our black clasp, and then we'll be using our black crimps to attach each on each end. Okay, so let's start putting this together and see how it kind of looks as we get going. And I'm just gonna dump these right into my crimp bin here so I can just grab them pretty easily. So since I'm using the medium Soft Flex, I'm going to be using our 2x2mm crimp tubes today, and that's a pretty standard size for a crimp tube, what you would normally use on most designs, as is medium Soft Flex, which is why that's the diameter we put in your kit. And I'm just going to take my Soft Flex beading wire. I'm going to string my 2x2mm crimp tube, and I'm just going to start from the bottom and work my way up. So I'm just going to attach into my bobble and through my crimp tube. And then I'm going to bring it down close to the bobble, but I'm going to leave enough room that this can really wiggle around, especially this kind of a piece that's so fun when it wiggles. You don't want to tighten it down too much. Definitely leave a little bit of a loose quality. And I'm going to use my magical crimpers today. So these are the magical crimpers that we saw on our website, and they are made for 2x2mm crimp tubes, and they fit inside, the tube fits inside that magical crimper just perfectly. And if you do it correctly the first time, you'll get what looks like a little four-corner ravioli. You're going to turn it on its side in that same little notch inside the pliers. And you want to make sure it's nice and centered every time. I want to make sure I'm nice and centered because I'm not right in my face here. And then compress. And then I'm just going to spin and compress a bunch of times, just slightly turning it and compressing each time. And that'll tighten it down, and it'll actually make it into what looks like a little round bead. So it took the sides of the crimp tubes and it sunk them down into the nylon coating of the wire. So I've got a really strong, nice hold with my crimp, but it also looks really, really nice. So I'm using our black crimp tubes, which are in the kit today, but you could totally get the gold filled to use with these materials. And in fact, if you're getting this trio and the bead mix, because you didn't have the kit, I would pick up some gold filled crimps too, because they would look really great with that particular set of items. Okay, so now I just need a pair of cutters. So I'm going to slide my cutters in up next to the crimp tube. And then voila, we've got a nice little connection. So I don't need much wire because I'm just going to connect these pieces here up to this connector up at the top. So I'm just going to do like a couple inches. Will be more than enough wire to get me going here. I'm just going to move that kind of up and out of the way. And now I can string. She has some fun gold beads in here too. I wonder if I should add a fun little gold bead. To the mix. So this is what I call a Y necklace. I used to make these all the time to sell ages and ages ago. So it's got like kind of a long tail, and then we're going to come up to make the top of the Y up here. Okay, so we've got our beads together that we wanted on the bottom. Now I'm going to grab another one of these little crimp tubes. So I'm going to string the wire through the connector and back into the crimp tube. Kathy says that's a great way to use the connectors. Yeah, I love the connectors. You could definitely use them as a traditional connector, like in the middle of a bracelet. I could see that being really fun. You could even use both of them and have like one special bead, like this guy, in the center. That would be like a really fun way to use these as well. I could also see them as a fantastic pair of earrings. Would be a really fun pair of earrings. I can see doing a lot of stuff. This bead mix is pretty fantastic. There's a lot. I think somebody said they had already made 11 designs with their kit, and they're working on using every bead in the kit. So I'm very excited to see. I think it was it you, Sheesh? Are you here? Oh man, I can't wait to see what everybody ends up posting. So you'll see in the VIB group, we're going to go through and hashtag everything you post as Purple Rain. And that makes it easier for all of us to see everything that's been made, but also for us to make sure we catch everything that's being entered for the contest. So I'm going to compress up here. Again, I got my little 4 corners. And then I'm going to turn it on its side. And we do try to make these kits challenging, you know. For example, in this particular one, I think the citrine wire is a color that most people wouldn't go to our website and just pick. And so I'm hopeful by putting in a color that you may not normally use, or a component that is unusual or different. Like maybe you don't normally pick silk cord. I don't. But it gives you an opportunity to kind of play around with it, see what it's like, and you know, learn some new techniques, hopefully. Okay, so we've got the bottom of our Y, and now I'm going to go ahead and start doing the back end. So I'm just going to do a quick neck measurement here for myself and see about how much wire. I need 2 strands of wire. I'm going to guess this is the right length. Let me measure it so you know how long I ended up making it. You'll be surprised how much you can make out of 10 feet of wire too. It really, especially if you're not as generous as I am usually in the videos, you can really make it go a long way. Okay, so I did about 12.5 inches for both sides to go up the back, which should be more than enough for me to get crimped on both ends and add the beads. All right, so if I stop throwing all my stuff around, life would be a little easier here. There we go. And let me put that over there. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to crimp now at the top. Hi, Liz. Thanks for joining us. I'm so happy to see all of you here on a Friday. It's kind of an unusual day for me. I wasn't sure if anybody would be able to show up today. Everyone's used to kind of being here on Wednesdays. So I'm just attaching to the top of the connector now with one wire. Same deal as before, using my magical crimpers, which you can also find on our website. Trim my wire, and then I've got my nice, neat connection started. Emily said I used the entire spool with Cupid's Kiss. Nice. Yeah, Cupid's Kiss was a fun kit because that pink tourmaline was really pretty. And I ended up using a lot of my beads up making one of those wrap bracelets, both with Winter Wonderland and Cupid's Kiss. And I'm planning on doing it with this one as well, because I gave Cupid's Kiss, I made a wrap bracelet for one of my daughters. And of course, the other one wants a wrap bracelet too. So I'm going to make her one in purple. And I made my oldest one in the pink from the Cupid's Kiss. So it'll be kind of perfect. It's a good way to use up just like an assortment of beads. I love making those wrap bracelets for that reason. Okay, so I've got my beads on. Now I'm going to crimp them in place because I don't want them to slide around on my neck. I want it to stay stationary. So I'm going to grab one more crimp here and slide it down to my beads. And then I'm just going to cut a little secondary piece of wire. The crimping pliers have a hard time making the crimp anchor onto just one single strand of wire. So if I'm doing a single strand, I will put in sort of a faux second wire, and then I'll just trim the excess wire. That way it has enough nylon coating to really grip. Oh, this bracelet. We might have a YouTube video on this. I would have to go look. It would be one of our older videos. But once I get this design done, I'll take it off and we can talk about it, about how to make it. So I'm going to trim and trim. And then I'll just do the same thing over here on the other side, up the other end with my second wire. My bracelet's very sparkly, so I imagine it is a little distracting when you see like a quick view of it. What is all that shiny crystal? Okay, I know how you beaders get distracted. Soft Flex does not tarnish. No, it is stainless steel. It's a marine quality stainless steel wire underneath. And then it is coated in a nylon, and the nylon is actually what makes it non-tarnishing. I mean, the marine quality stainless steel is pretty good too, but it's non-tarnishing, and then it's also hypoallergenic. If you have any metal allergies, you won't have to worry about that because it's coated in nylon. So I've got my first crimp going. It's a really great product to work with. I'm using the medium. There are other diameters. You can bead weave with it, kumihimo, knit. I mean, it just really, the sky is the limit because it's so flexible, but it's so strong. And it comes in lots of different diameters and colors. All right, so now I'm just going to add my beads over here on the other side for my second half of my top of my Y. I have letters on the brain. My kids are in preschool, so it's like every week we're celebrating a new letter. This last week, I think, was T, because we're getting closer and closer to the end of the year. There we go. It looks just like a Y, doesn't it? All right, and I'm going to need a little bit more of a wire than that, so I'm going to trim another fake wire over here. We do a craft wire as well, which does have a copper base. It also is non-tarnishing unless you get it in bare copper. But most of it is a color coating, and then it has sort of an enamel coating over the top of it that keeps it from tarnishing. You can find that on our website too. Why did you separate the wires? I didn't have to. I could have just crimped in the center, but sometimes because of the way that the crimp will connect to the two wires, you won't get like a straight Y shape. So I tend to do two separate wires just so that it'll lay really nicely, because that's important to me. But you could totally do one single wire and crimp in the center down here. I just like the flexibility of it sitting nicely. And if you did do one crimp, you'd want to start with some really small beads at the bottom, because it would be hard for them to sit next to each other if there wasn't more of a separation. So great question. You can, but you would have to just change a few things up to probably make it work. And it might tug one way or the other a little bit more than you'd want it to. Okay, so there we go. We've got this. Now we just have to get our back end together here. And I just got to decide on a length. So I'm going to pull this up now to see kind of where it's laying. I often just do one side and I end up finishing it later, but I think sometimes it's useful to see the final product being made on the show. So one of the things that you'll want to think about is, where is this dangle? This is a long dangle, so depending on how long your chest is, you may want to make this strand longer for it to come down more, or higher up if you have a shorter chest, which I kind of do. Okay, so I'm about here is where I think I'm going to go. So I'm going to hold on to what I measured on my neck and grab a crimp tube. And string my crimp tube. And then I'm going to just grab my lobster clasp and string back into my crimp tube again. So you're just kind of making a loop and pull that down. And again, you want to leave room for your clasp to move around so it can wiggle, which is really nice. Kathy says, I love this pattern. It's so versatile. My brain's running in high gear now. Fantastic. Elizabeth says, I like watching you. Oh, thank you. I like being here. This is my favorite part of my week. Imagine how bummed I was on Wednesday when I knew I had to cancel this week. I was so sad. I'm never leaving my tripod at work again. I'm just going to always take it home in case there's a fire or a flood or locusts invade. Who knows what's going to happen next here in poor Sonoma. That way I can always jump on and still do some beading. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and trim right up next to my clear tube. And then my second side, what I usually do because I'm not much of a measurer. Ooh, and I actually want to get in here and get, see how there's just a lot of wire sticking out of that top still? If you have a good pair of cutters, I can definitely get in and trim that even more so it's even closer to the crimp. Okay, so now I've got my 2 crimps down here. I just slide my fingers up the wire, and that way I know where my crimp needs to be on the second side. You could totally do measuring. I'll measure after just to give you an idea of how much space I used, but it's just not really my thing. As long as it's close, I feel like it's pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and put my wire back into my crimp. If you want to join us next month with next month's kit, it's available now on our website. It's called the Flower Power Design Kit, and let me tell you, it is a colorful, fun kit, and you guys are going to really love it. It's definitely going to be a challenge because it is so bright and colorful, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it'll be nice to bring some color into our March. So same thing here. I'm just making my own jump ring. You could totally use a formal jump ring if you wanted to, but it's not necessary. With Soft Flex, you can actually just sort of make your own connections. And I'm just going to get this all crimped. And I'm going to trim up next to my crimp tube. Thanks everybody. If you like this video, please do like and share it publicly so that I can enter you to win a trio. So there's our first design. We're going to make a couple more things before I go today, so don't go rushing off. But I'll take a picture of this and I'll post it in our Soft Flex VIB group. And that's also where you'll be able to find the designs that everyone else with this kit is making. And those designs need to be posted. I have my date here. I think it was March 19th, but let me check to make sure. Yeah, the VIB group, if you have this Purple Rain kit and you're going to be posting to win the next kit, you want to post before March 19th. And we'll pick a winner on March 19th. If you want to put the hashtag Purple Rain, go for it. If you don't, we will try to do it for you. So there will be that option too. I'm kind of in love with these little 2-hole beads. So I'm going to grab some of those out for my next design. And I'm really liking these bugle beads in this color. So I'm thinking that might be kind of fun to break these open. I don't always get to use the seed beads or the bugle beads in the kits. It's a fun opportunity. Let's break some of those open too and see what happens. The kits are usually $32.95, but right now if you spend $59, you'll get $10 off on the website. So you can actually get a few things if you need some other things too, and then that'll bring the cost of your kit down if you're applying that $10 to your kit. And if you're in the US, orders ship for free when they're over $50. So there's that too. All right, so I feel like those are such fun. These are like the perfect Purple Rain colors. And then we're gonna do a fun earring. Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, so I'm thinking about like a doubled up earring like this, since we've got our 2-hole beads here. So I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a pretty long length of wire. I don't know that I'll use this whole length. Let's see how long it is so you know. 7 inches. I doubt I'll use that long of a length, but we'll see what happens here. So I'm going to have to connect to the ear wire at the top. So here's a decision point. do I go ahead and crimp? I think I will. Hi, Sue. Welcome. Nice to see all my VIB friends here. And anchor this up. So same thing as before, I'm going to go ahead and crimp, but this time in the center of my wires, so I've got 2 strands to work with. Now I don't pre-plan any design that I do with these kits. Everything is on the fly. So I never know if things are going to work out or not work out. Just prefacing that for anyone who's brand new to a design challenge. I have no pre-plan going in. I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants here. Okay, so I'm going to try going for, let's see how this kind of works. Ooh, yeah, I like that. Kind of cool. I feel like these bugle beads match this wire so well, so I'll be interested to see how this ends up. I was thinking about a bugle bead. Oh, Susan, thank you. I think anybody could do this if you just get over the idea of failing in front of people. Sometimes I do fail. Sometimes my designs don't make sense. They don't work out the way that I'm imagining them. But it's okay because you learn, like everybody learns lessons along the way. And it's really all about having fun. That's the most important part. This is fun. You could also do, if you wanted to do like a ring, ooh, maybe we'll do that. Look how cool that looks. If we go in a circle and then we attach the 2 ends, we could make like kind of a big ring out of it. Let's see if we've got enough wire here to do that. Since I wasn't planning that when I cut my wire, we'll see how it turns out. I know, the diamond 2-hole beads are pretty cool. I'm kind of in love, I have to say. Let's see if I can get one more set on here. Oh, thanks, Carla. This would make a really pretty bracelet, wouldn't it? Let's see what that looks like on my wrist. Wouldn't that make just like a really pretty bracelet too? Oh, I forgot to talk about this. That would be really lovely. Let's talk about this real fast, since I promised I would do that. Okay, so this might be a video, but I'm not certain. And it looks to me like it's one long strand of our Extreme 925 beading wire that I crimped with a 2mm crimp cover to the top of this tiara cast clasp. And then I slid a 3mm crimp cover over the top of the crimp. And I took half the wire and strung it through the crystal, and then the other half and strung it the opposite way. And then I kind of just kept going down. So I crimped, and then I took half the wire, strung it through the crystal. And it's kind of fun because you can, in this case, the crystals are going to face kind of a different direction than they normally would. Oh, I had a necklace on earlier. I guess I took it off. But you can also, with like a necklace, you can have the crystals face out. And so they give like a really pretty brilliant coloring because they're coming from a different direction than how you would normally see them. So fun and easy. I'll have to look on YouTube and see if there is a link or a video there. There might be. And then I'll post a link to it either in the VIB group or here on the video later. Okay, so I think we're capable of trying this. Let's see if I can fidget with the small wire to make this work for an earring. So I'm going to string both wires through my 2x2mm crimp tube, and I'm going to kind of eye it out because I want this side to sort of match this side. I don't want one side to be a lot longer than the other. So I'm just going to kind of anchor it down. And then I'm going to take just one of these wires and go back down into the crimp tube. And we'll see, hopefully this will hang on the earring okay, doing it this way. And then the second thing I'm going to pay attention to, you can see already, get this a little bit more out of the way. I want my two loops to be a similar size. And right now this one's much smaller. So I'm just going to back that out just a little bit, very gently, so that my loops are about the same size so that it's symmetrical on both sides. So if you didn't catch that, I put both wires through the crimp and then I took just one wire to loop back. I'm going to crimp and then I can trim off my extra wires. This would make such a pretty bracelet. This pattern, I love it. I love these bright bugle beads. So fun. All right, and then I'm just going to slide my cutters in both sides. And then let me get my ear wires out. Where did those go? Oh, here they are, over here. So one thing you sometimes want to look at with your ear wires, if you're brand new to beading, you may not realize they almost always come just like a little open, which is fine in this case because I need to slide my earring on. Hopefully this will work the way that I'm imagining that it will work. Pretty good. So you can do it this way, or you can use a jump ring if you want it to face this way. You would attach the jump ring to the two loops, and then you would attach the jump ring to the ear wire. Or you can do it this way where it's going to face out and make kind of a big loop. Fun! Totally not what I was expecting to make, but I love them. When I started out, I was making a nice flat fringe earring, but man, that went somewhere else, didn't it? Yeah, so what if we were to do that pattern we were just talking about with the bracelet that I have on? What if we were to do that real fast with some of the beads I have here? Let's see if we can make that work. So I'm going to do kind of a long length just to be certain because I'm weaving back and forth inside the beads and it needs to wrap around my wrist. And the last thing you want when you're doing a project on a live video is to run out of wire. I'll make the second earring of these and I'll post it in a picture of it in the VIB group as well as the necklace that we made earlier. Okay, so what I did here was I attached to a clasp, and I'm already out of clasps from the kit, so I will just grab one that I can attach to later, and I'm just going to make this the top, my loop that attaches to that lobster clasp. So I'll leave it big enough that the lobster can attach easily. And we'll go ahead and crimp. This time let's do, well, I want to stick with items in the crimp in the kit just in case someone doesn't have things like blue crimping pliers and crimp covers and stuff. Okay, so I've got myself attached. And then instead of running through the the beads straight, we're gonna look for some beads here where we can put the wire through. And it's gonna take a fairly large hole. So that's something to remember too. It can't just be any old bead. Sometimes you'll have to look around for the right bead to fit the wires through both directions. So I strung one wire in one way and then one wire in the other way. And then I'm just going to bring this up to the top here. Ta-da! And then I can keep going with other beads. In this case, I crimped between, so I would take both wires and string a crimp tube. And then I can crimp it in place. You can use the same bead every single time, or you can also change out your beads. You know, like I might add a purple bead in this particular bracelet. Nice, right? And then you've got the wire showing. You could do this in any color wire. I use the silver here, but it works just great with the citrine or purple wire or pink tourmaline. I made a big mess with these bugle beads. They're kind of driving me bonkers. Can you add a small bead instead of a crimp? You definitely could. Yes, for sure. And you could even switch it up and like do a 2-hole bead here. Let's try that. So I'm just taking both wires and running through my purple 2-hole bead, which will be a fun mixture, and then I can crimp underneath that if I wanted to, or you can add a bead. It's just it'll have to be a bead that can fit 2 019 wires, but definitely a bead would work too. Virtually any color, definitely. Yeah, any color you want to expose in your design. I like that a lot too. Those little 2-hole beads look really nice with this. You guys are so inspiring. I would have never guessed when I put on this bracelet this morning that somebody would mention it in the video and that I would then take the beads to make something similar. It's so fun. You guys have no idea how fun it is to bead with a bunch of creative people that give you fun ideas that you wouldn't have thought of if you were just doing this on your own. It's really, really great. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to take this bead and anchor it down. And I'll probably keep going with this after the video. I may have to post pictures tomorrow because it is Friday and our office closes early. So I'm going to have to run out of here after the video today probably, before they lock me in for the weekend. Okay, so there we go. I've anchored it down to the crimp, and I want to make sure it's the same direction as the other. And then I'm going to take both wires and add a crimp. That would make a very cute choker. If anybody is looking for inspiration, I cannot say it enough to go join the Soft Flex BIB Facebook group. I am constantly inspired by what the members are posting that they're making with our beading wire and our craft wire and our kits and our live sale beads. And speaking of live sales, we have another one coming up this coming Wednesday from Mike Sherman's personal collection. So come join us Wednesday at 1 p.m. unless for some reason we get flooded out or something again. I should be here. And we'll have some really great beads and things to show you for sale. But we love to see what you guys make with those live sale beads as well. So you can post in the Facebook group with that kind of stuff too. It's fun to see where they end up. Yeah, so I'll probably just keep on going until I've got a really cute, fun bracelet, which is going to match just really well with my little earrings here. And then of course we finished our beautiful Y necklace. If you're interested in making some similar things and you missed out on the Purple Rain design kit, you can always grab a trio, maybe even a citrine Soft Flex wire, and then we have the bead mixes available, which have a lot of the beads that I used today in the designs. And if you're interested in doing a wrap bracelet with all the leftover beads from your kit, because there's always just tons and tons, and I'll probably post one when I make one. You can also now buy these trios, which have the very fine, which is what I weave the beads with, and then they have the medium soft flex for the outside of the bracelet. And it comes in white or black. And then the last thing I wanted to say is I'm thinking about making a new trio to match Nilay Patel's project on Beads, Baubles, and Jewels. And I posted in the VIB group, yes or no. So let me know if you guys love this trio, then we'll try to get it up in the next few weeks. It's the 24 karat gold, the copper, and the champagne. And I think it's a really fun color palette. So if you like it, go there and vote yes. And if I see enough yeses, then we'll definitely get that rocking and rolling on the website for you guys to purchase as well. And I will see you. Don't forget to share and like this video by March 5th to be entered to win a trio of your choice. And if you have one of these Purple Rain design kits, make sure you post your designs by March 9th, before March 19th. We'll pick the winner on March 19th. And then we'll get your next kit out to you, whoever is the winner. So thank you so much for joining me today. I will finish up these designs and post pictures on Instagram and also in our VIB Facebook group. So you can also join us either place and get to see lots of great jewelry inspiration. Love all of you guys. I hope you are enjoying the Purple Rain design kit as much as I am. And I hope you'll join me next month for Flower Power. It's the last Wednesday of March is when we'll be doing the video with Flower Power. And it's a bright, colorful, fun kit, and I think a lot of you are gonna really love it. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.